Hello and welcome to this James the Bike Guy, where today we're getting a chance to take a look at the brand new entry-level road bike from Specialized, the Specialized Allez. And the Allez has been around as one of Specialized road bike lineups for a super long time, and it has earned a spot as one of the most popular road bikes on sale today. And that's because it ranges from lower price points all the way into some mid-level price points with a couple different frames. But one thing that's brand new for this year is on the base model, let's call it E5 butted aluminum frame, we now have disc brakes. And so in this video, I'm going to go over the updates and features of this brand new 2024 Specialized Allez E5 Sport, and then we'll find out exactly what it weighs. As I alluded to in the beginning of this video, the Specialized Allez has been around for quite some time, and in fact, many years ago, this would have been the top-end road bike from Specialized. They've even had variants that have come through that have been carbon fiber framed bikes, but as Specialized has broadened their lineup, become even more performance-y and even more niche-y, depending on the type of road bike that you want, the Allez has stayed as their mainstay aluminum road bike that features some lower price points to allow more riders to get into riding, and has kept up as one of the lighter weight non-bougie road bikes on sale. And for 2024, they've now added in a disc brake option for this entry-level road bike. And that's a big deal because a bunch of other brands have had disc brake variants to their entry-level road bikes, but Specialized had stayed the course with a rim brake road bike all the way up until 2023 at that beginning price point. Now, the version of this Allez that we're looking at, this is the sport variant, which means it's got 10-speed Shimano Tiagra drivetrain with a 50-34 up front, double chainring setup, and an 11 to 32 tooth 10-speed cassette out back. But complete Specialized Allez start from $1,200 and go all the way up to this one at $1,800. And that means a lot of riders are going to be able to take advantage of this new aluminum frame set. And Specialized is using their tried and true E5 butted aluminum, which means this tubing is butted, so there's thicker spots closer to where the welds are, thinner spots through the center to be able to lighten up the bike and allow them to absorb more vibrations. Up front, you do have a tapered head tube, which goes through to this carbon fiber fork. This is a FACT carbon fork from Specialized, and it's actually pretty reminiscent of what you get on the top-end bikes like the Tarmac, being that it's full carbon fiber fork blades as well as a carbon steerer. Nice feature in of itself. Now there is through axle up front and through axle out back, 12 by 142 out back, 12 by 100 up front, and the ability to run fenders both on the front and the rear. You can set this up with rack mounting as long as you've got a clamp for your seat post that would accept a rack. But one of the really cool things about this bike you can see is in the way that they do the bridge for the seat stays. So top tube and seat stay are separated to allow a little more compliance in the back end. It also has this interesting little bridge between the two seat stays. Now, in most cases, the bridge is just that, kind of an arc over the seat stay, but instead, the drive side chainstay bends, it's one continuous piece, over to the non-drive seat stay. And then they add in this small chunk here to brace it up against the seat tube. Now, Specialized is doing that for a couple of reasons. It's allowing them to get the compliance that they want out of the back end, and it's also allowing them to get a 35mm tire clearance. So you can fit up to 35mm tires in the frame and the fork, or 32mm tires in the frame and the fork with a set of fenders. But that's a huge growth in tire clearance over the older frame that was rim brake and could really only fit up to 28mm. So now the road bike has gone from just being a road-specific option to now this is really a good option for a commuter and even some light gravel where you might want to run up to those 35mm tires. Well, the bike itself is coming from the factory with 30mm tires. Now, as we get into the cockpit and the position of the bike, a few things to mention. We are 31.8 handlebar clamp, all aluminum cockpit with a short and shallow reach handlebar. Out back is the Specialized bridge saddle, which is from their body geometry division, mounted up on a traditional 27.2 aluminum seat post. And the geometry of this new Specialized Allez E5 is on the endurance side of things. I really like to see that because in Specialized lineup, often they would move towards the race spec of geometry, such as the Specialized Allez Sprint. But instead, this bike remains upright and comfortable with a taller front end and a little bit shorter reach, so that a rider is going to be able to get onto this bike comfortably, but the angles of the head tube and the seat tube are still performance-y enough that you could still use this bike as a great option for some beginner racing and even some performance riding, just by lowering the front end, flipping the stem, taking some of that stack of spacers away. And this bike is timely because Trek, the #1 competitor of Specialized, has also come out with a new road bike. I've just recently done a video on that bike. I'll have it linked down in the description below and just above. And that new Trek Domane AL frame features wider tire clearance of 40mm tires, but a more relaxed head tube and seat tube angle with slightly longer chainstays, which would make the bike be a bit better for a long distance tour, where this bike is going to be quite a bit sprightly. Specialized will tell you this is going to be one of the lightest weight aluminum frames in this category, with a 56cm aluminum frame coming in at 1,375 grams, which really is pretty impressive because that knocks on the door of even some carbon frames from major manufacturers out there. Well, anyways, I think that means it's time to find out what this complete bike weighs. And mind you, it does come with a set of these pedals, which most of my bike weights do not include pedals, so think about 450 grams for just those things that will lop off of the top. And the actual weight of the Specialized Allez Sport comes in and weighs 23.88 pounds. Not bad, right? Well, thanks for joining me on this video, and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. While you're at it, be sure to browse the channel and check out more videos like this to see as well.